Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. It's the Pay Me No Mind. Bite Down Boxing presented by Pay Me No Mind. I'm the host here, Wood. Please hit that subscribe button. Please like, share, comment, etc., etc. I might get messed up here because my wife might come home. I had to go get a haircut after the fight, and because I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and procrastinating and whatnot. So, but I left my debit card at the house, and I had to pick up some food too. So she might come home and bust and get on me. It might come into the audio, but I mean, and I might go. I'm gonna try to go live later on to see what the streets are talking about, how people are reacting to the fight tonight. Anthony Joshua wins unanimously, regains his titles, and defeats Andy Ruiz over in Diriyah outside of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And I kind of just, the further we get away from that, it's other big channels out there doing live streams right now. Ak and Barack are on Sirius XM's Fight Nation right now. You can get your post-fight commentary at a number of sources and outlets and whatnot. So it's like, let me get in and get out. Really, it was no surprise here to me. Back in June, after the original fight, I don't know if on fight night or the next morning, I did a video and it was like 4 or 5 reasons why Anthony Joshua has absolutely nothing to worry about in fighting, coming out of that fight. Absolutely nothing to worry about whatsoever. The things that I said then pretty much held true this week in my thinking towards this fight, the outcome of this fight. And then as what we saw play out tonight, I don't think I changed much at all. I really don't. So I'm gonna tell you, man, I got some stuff going on in my day-to-day gig, man, that to see the people eating from covering this sport and traveling the world, feeding their families and whatnot, man. And some of us out here dedicated to this thing who we actually pay to do all of this stuff, whether it's even money. But some of the commentary that I heard out here from different sources, I listened to like 6 podcasts this week. And but I just come to the conclusion, man, that only a certain amount of people and people with teams really, it's not too many individuals who can really do anything on the level that you need to do it. But again, check my write-up. And another reason why I'm not going to go into too many details, check my write-up that I did tonight at bitedownboxing.com. I was updating them at the end of each fight. Check that out. Check the preview videos that I made all week. I think I made 3 or 4. I think I was kind of money with it, man. I mean, I hate to pat myself on the back. I do look for engagement, conversation, feedback, to see where I am with this thing and to create good, substantive boxing discussions. But you got to be the loudest voice in the room, and that's not my style. But my name is my name. You can check what I'm talking about on here. You can check out my writing at whether it be roundbyroundboxing.com, overtimeheroics.net. I had the prediction piece with the team over there. And then, like I said, even womenofboxing.com. And then, what I do over here. And like I said, man, some of the talk, the pre-fight talk, I thought was lazy. I didn't think it was really insightful. And I don't want to watch and support people to listen to you love on the people that you love on and hate on the people that you hate. That's not really good boxing to me. But anyway, man, quickly getting into this fight. Make what you want to make of the weigh-in, the extra pounds on Ruiz. One thing that really resonated with me this week was Brian Kenny was on the Ak and Barack show. Weekdays at noon to 3 on Fight Nation. Brian Kenny said on the scene He was mixing it up, chopping it up with and learning different things about the fighters. There's nothing to do there, no alcohol, no real partying. You get a moment to really talk to people a little bit more. And he said one thing that had me sitting back was, regardless of what you wanted to say with the weight, he's got the joggers on. He might even had his sneakers on, the sombrero, which, most commissions won't even let you do all of that, but we know where we were and the auspices that we were operating under. But he said that it's not that you weigh that, it's not how much the number is or what the number is, but it says a lot about what you've done, what you've been doing. And he also said that Manny Robles said that he expected to have him in camp in like July, which June, turn around July. I don't know why you would have done that. But he said maybe it was at the end of July. But he said he expected to get him in then, and he didn't get him in until September. So I just started really questioning, another thing that I always say, fighters learn nothing in wins, whether it's bad win, ugly win, last second win. Athletes learn very little in wins. And he won that fight after getting dropped. I told you he got blown away, had never been dropped before, and got blown away in 3 rounds by Joshua. He comes back and does what he does. He came out of that and said, man, I can whip him any day of the week, anywhere. All I got to do is roll out of bed. That's what he took away from that win. Joshua said, man, I gotta do everything different. but be the old me. But I gotta do everything different. One other thing that I'll say, it just occurred to me earlier. I was watching the One Night thing yesterday, rewatching it. And Joshua, I understand why he was uncomfortable now. He got in there on fight night and realized he's a very structured dude. He's about planning, et cetera, et cetera. He came into that fight, came out of Miami, and knew that he had messed up, and got to fight night and knew that he didn't have nothing, no framework to work within, and was defeated. Improvised the first few rounds, was like, damn, I actually pulled that off. And then got, ran into some trouble and then lost his titles, got embarrassed, et cetera, et cetera. You can argue about whether or not he quit, whatever. So anyway, going into tonight, man, he just stuck to the game plan. You're not supposed to let a 6-foot dude in the same shape as me, you're not supposed to let him whip you. I said in the overtimeheroics.net piece, all Anthony Joshua had to do was be a NFL game managing quarterback, and he should be able to hustle himself to a victory. That's all you got to do. I thought he might have to get up off the canvas one time, but all he had to do was manage his way to a victory based on the physical advantages that he had. That's all you had to do. Boxing is not complicated. I can't say that. I can repeat what Andre Ward has said. Boxing is not complicated. Keep it simple. Like he said, he said for, I don't know whose fight that was. But don't try to change, it was somebody that had a rematch. But don't go and try to change 2 and 3 things and 4 things. I can't think of who that was on ESPN that might have said that. Just change 1 or 2 things, or just change 1 thing. And that's all. That's how he got the victory. So look, I'm really not going to get on here and really try to stretch this out, man. It's up for interpretation now, whether or not you appreciated the man going in there and winning the fight in the manner that he did or not. Ultimately, it really doesn't matter what we think. One thing to keep in mind is this is a man who can go on and make hundreds of millions of dollars. All of that was on the line for him tonight. He had to just respect his family and his name and go out there and protect all of that and get a victory. I thought it was a little more entertaining. It was good boxing. I mean, a heavyweight moving left to right, jabbing, some grabbing and wrestling and whatnot. It wasn't lights out, action packed, but I thought it was pretty damn good action for a heavyweight fight. Dude is out here fighting like a super middleweight or something. Shoving a jab in his face at times. He threw the right hand in the first round. He talked some trash. He stood tall. He was firm when he needed to be. I thought it was a pretty damn good fight, man. And then there was always the suspense of, could he run into some trouble at any given moment? And he almost did that when he let Ruiz get inside, or when Ruiz bulled his way inside and touched him up top. And, we saw some of those movements that let us know when he was in trouble at Madison Square Garden. So, like I said, man, I don't know where people are with it. I got to go out here and get this food. Like I said, man, I felt like I was pretty money on a lot of the content and the commentary that I put out there this week. It kind of came to fruition over the course of those 12 rounds. So why sit here and rehash all of that? Bite down boxing, a perfect example of don't let them count you out. You got to fight your fight, baby. Peace.